Pilot Jack Miller's cargo ship crashes on planet Vex 7 during a routine supply run. The ship's engines fail mysteriously as he enters the planet's atmosphere. Jack wakes up in the wreckage, injured but alive. His ship has crashed deep in a forest of strange, twisted trees that seem to whisper in the wind. The trees are unlike anything in human records, black bark with silver veins that pulse with dim light. The forest feels wrong. Every sound echoes strangely, and shadows move without. Objects to cast them. Jack's communication systems are dead, but his emergency beacon shows other ships have crashed here before Dot. As Jack examines his ship, he finds critical damage to the power core, navigation system, and hull plating. The ship's AI warns him that repairs are needed to survive, but something feels off about the crash site. Ancient symbols are carved into nearby trees, and the ground beneath his ship shows scorch marks from previous crashes. Local wildlife watches him from the darkness. Creatures with too many eyes and movements that don't match any known biology. They keep their distance, but never leave. Jack realizes he's not the first pilot to crash here, and the scattered debris around his landing site tells a grim story. The chapter ends with Jack starting his first repair attempt on the power core, while strange lights begin dancing between the trees as night falls. Jack begins repairing his ship's power core using salvaged parts from other crashed vessels scattered throughout the forest. As he works, the whispers in the trees grow louder, almost like voices trying to communicate. He dismisses it as wind through the unusual tree structures. The moment Jack successfully restores partial power to his ship, the forest erupts in activity. The pulsing lights in the tree bark brighten dramatically, and the ground begins to vibrate with a low hum. Creatures that were merely watching before become agitated, circling his crash site, but still maintaining distance. Strange phenomena begin occurring around the ship. Tools move on their own. Electronics malfunction in impossible ways. And Jack starts seeing fleeting glimpses of other pilots working on repairs in the same spots where he found wreckage. These ghostly figures appear and vanish when he looks. Directly at them, Jack discovers a pilot's log recorder among the debris. The recording reveals that Captain Lisa Stone crashed here 6 months ago. Her final entries describe the same phenomena Jack is experiencing, but with increasing intensity after each repair. She mentions that the forest doesn't want us to leave, and warns against continuing repairs. Despite the warnings, Jack has no choice but to continue. His food supplies are limited, and rescue won't come to this uncharted region. As he works on restoring his navigation systems, the whispers begin forming actual words in various human languages, pleading with him to stop his work. The chapter concludes with Jack completing his second major repair, as dark shapes begin moving more boldly around his campsite. After Jack's third repair, fixing the hull breach, the forest's supernatural activity reaches a dangerous level. The ghostly apparitions of previous pilots become solid enough to interact with physical objects, desperately trying to sabotage his work. They're not hostile toward Jack personally, but terrified of what his repairs are causing. Through broken communication with these spectral pilots, Jack learns the horrible truth. The forest is a prison for an ancient alien consciousness that was sealed here centuries ago by the planet's original inhabitants. The crashed ships and their ongoing repair attempts are slowly weakening the containment field that keeps this entity trapped. Each repair Jack creates electromagnetic disturbances that interfere with the alien prison technology hidden beneath the forest. The entity grows stronger with each fix, feeding off the energy signatures of human technology. The previous pilots became trapped here, not by the crashes, but because they learned the truth too late and couldn't leave without releasing something terrible upon the galaxy. Captain Stone's spirit appears to Jack with a full explanation. The entity is a hive mind parasite that consumes entire civilizations by taking control of their technology. The original alien species that lived here sacrifice their entire civilization to contain it, turning themselves into the forest itself as guardians. Jack faces an impossible choice: abandon his repairs and die stranded on the planet, or continue, fixing his ship knowing he might release a galactic threat. The entity begins speaking directly to him through the ship's communication systems, offering him power and knowledge in exchange for freedom. The forest guardians, the original aliens, now existing as the trees themselves, beg Jack through the whispers to make the right choice, even as the parasitic entity promises him command of entire star systems. Instead of choosing between the two impossible options, Jack does what humans do best. He finds a third way. Using his engineering knowledge and the scattered technology from previous crashes, he begins designing a solution that no one expects. Jack studies the prison technology hidden in the forest, learning how it works by observing its interaction with his ship's systems. He realizes that the containment field isn't weakening because of damage, but because it was designed for the original alien technology, not human electromagnetic signatures, working with the ghost pilots and guidance. From the forest guardians, Jack begins modifying his ship's systems to complement rather than interfere with the prison field. He reverse engineers alien technology using human innovation, creating hybrid systems that actually strengthen the containment. The parasitic entity realizes what Jack is attempting and begins direct attacks. It possesses local wildlife, causes equipment failures, and even tries to take control of Jack's mind. But human stubbornness and creativity prove difficult for the ancient consciousness to understand or counter. Jack's plan requires him to sacrifice his ship's faster-than-light drive, using its power core to permanently reinforce the prison. This means he'll be stranded, but his distress beacon will eventually bring rescue ships, and he can warn them about the danger before they land. As Jack implements his solution, the entity makes one final desperate attempt to break free, causing massive earthquakes and storms. The ghost pilots of previous crashes finally find peace as they help Jack complete his work, their souls released from the forest's hold. The chapter ends with Jack successfully strengthening the prison, but his ship is now permanently disabled. 3 weeks after Jack's sacrifice, a rescue ship arrives in response to his beacon. Captain Bob Harris and his crew land cautiously after receiving Jack's detailed warnings about the forest's dangers. They find Jack alive, but changed by his experience. Serving as the new guardian of the prison, Jack has learned to communicate with the forest guardians and understands his role in maintaining the balance. He guides the rescue team safely through the forest, explaining how future ships can avoid the electromagnetic interference that caused the crashes. The rescue crew is amazed by Jack's hybrid technology solution. Human engineering combined with ancient alien science has created something neither species could achieve alone. Jack's innovations will revolutionize containment technology across human space, making him inadvertently responsible for advances that will protect countless worlds. Jack chooses to remain on Vex 7 as the forest's protector. He's not trapped like the previous pilots were. He can leave any time. He stays because he's found purpose in protecting the galaxy from threats it doesn't even know exist. The forest guardians accept him as an equal, sharing their knowledge. And ancient wisdom. The rescue team establishes a research station at a safe distance, with Jack serving as liaison between human scientists and the alien guardians. His sacrifice has become something greater, a bridge between species and a guardian against cosmic threats. Jack's story spreads through human space as an example of human ingenuity and sacrifice. Rather than accepting impossible choices, he found a solution that saved everyone. The tale becomes legendary among pilots and engineers, inspiring others to think beyond conventional limitations. The story concludes with Jack watching new human research teams arrive, knowing that his decision to repair his ship and then sacrifice it has opened doors to cooperation with ancient alien intelligence and protection against threats humanity never knew existed. His final log entry reads, "Sometimes the best way to fix something is to break it first, then build it back better than it ever was."